What if you could control your dreams, bend them to your will? Sounds incredible, right? But what if every time you woke up, a piece of your dream followed you, and you couldn't get rid of it? It all started like a fantasy. I realized I could control my dreams, move things, create things, make impossible moments feel real. At first, it was exhilarating, but then something strange happened. I'd wake up, and little fragments of those dreams wouldn't disappear. They'd stay. Objects, sounds, even shadows from my dreams. They began showing up in the real world. I thought it was just my imagination, maybe a little spillover from my subconscious. But it got worse. The more I tried to control my dreams, the more they bled into reality, until I could no longer tell where the nightmare ended and the waking world began. What started as a harmless ability soon turned into something far more terrifying. Every night, I would change things in the dream world, and every morning, those changes would creep into my life. Now, I can't sleep without fear of what might follow me out of the dream next. Stay with me until the end, and I'll show you just how dangerous dreams can be when they refuse to stay where they belong. It started like this. I've always had vivid dreams, wild, strange, impossible things. But one night I realized I could control them. I could change anything in the dream like I was awake. It felt exhilarating. For as long as I can remember, my dreams were vivid. They were like an alternate world where anything could happen. Then one night, something changed. I realized I wasn't just dreaming. I was in control. At first it was thrilling. I could make anything happen. I could change the colors of the sky, fly through mountains, and bend reality. It felt like unlocking a secret power, one that only I knew how to wield. The more I explored this ability, the more fascinated I became. I would make small changes to test the limits, shift the scenery, and speed up time. It felt harmless. Why wouldn't it? After all, it was just a dream. But then, I noticed something strange. Little things from my dreams started showing up when I woke up. At first, it was small. An object that shouldn't exist. A shadow that didn't belong. I thought I was imagining it. I wasn't. One morning, I woke up and saw something strange on my nightstand. A small, carved stone. I didn't own anything like it, but I'd seen it before. It had been in my dream the night before. I brushed it off as a coincidence, a leftover image my mind was clinging to. But it wasn't just that. The next day I heard a sound, a soft whisper that shouldn't have been there. It was the same whisper from my dream. Little by little, things started to cross over. At first they were small, shadows, objects, sounds. But it wasn't my imagination. My dreams were leaking into the real world. The more I manipulated my dreams, the more the lines blurred. I would wake up and find things, creatures from my nightmares in the real world. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get rid of them. I became obsessed with my ability to control my dreams. It was like a drug. Each night I pushed the limits, shaping entire landscapes, creating people, altering events. But the more I did, the more the lines between my dreams and reality blurred. The things I brought into my dreams didn't stay there anymore. One morning, I saw it, a figure standing in the corner of my room. It had been in my dream the night before, one of the creatures I had created. But now, it was real, standing there, watching me. I blinked, and it was gone. I couldn't get rid of it. No matter how hard I tried, these creatures wouldn't leave me alone. I couldn't tell what was real anymore. I'd wake up, but I was still in the dream. I'd be at work or walking down the street, but suddenly everything would twist. People would change, and the world would shift. I was trapped between two realities. The worst part wasn't the creatures. It was the feeling of being trapped between two worlds. I would wake up, but it felt like I was still dreaming. I'd walk down the street and everything would feel off. People's faces would change, places would shift, like reality was constantly slipping. I didn't know what was real anymore. The world twisted in front of me, bending like it did in my dreams. The same nightmares would replay, even when I was awake. It was like my dream world had taken root in reality and I couldn't escape it. I tried to stop. I tried to stop dreaming, but it was too late. The creatures, the things I created, they were always there, waiting for me to close my eyes. And now, they were coming closer. I was terrified to sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I knew the creatures would be waiting. They weren't just in my dreams anymore. They were here, in the real world, watching me, waiting. No matter how long I stayed awake, they would find me. I couldn't escape them. Desperate, I tried to avoid sleep altogether. I stayed awake for days, fighting to keep the nightmares at bay. But sleep always comes eventually. And when it did, the creatures were more robust than before. They were no longer passive. Now, they were hunting me. And they weren't just in my dreams anymore. I couldn't stay awake forever, and when I finally fell asleep, I didn't wake up. At least I don't think I did. The dream and reality, it's all the same now. The nightmare is real. Eventually, exhaustion caught up to me. I couldn't fight it anymore. When I finally fell asleep, I thought it would be a relief. But when I woke up, or thought I woke up, I couldn't tell where I was. The world around me was twisted, a perfect blend of dream and reality. The nightmare creatures were everywhere, and I couldn't escape them. Now, I don't know if I'm awake or still dreaming. The boundaries between the two worlds have completely collapsed. Every day feels like a nightmare, and I can't wake up. Maybe I never will. In the end, I thought I was controlling my dreams. But the truth is, they were controlling me. The more I tried to bend them to my will, the more they bent me. And now, I can't tell if I'm awake or still trapped inside them. Maybe I never will. I thought the nightmares were something I could leave behind when I woke up. But now, the dream world has consumed me, and I don't know where it ends. Or if it ever will. The real horror wasn't in the dreams themselves. It was in thinking I could manipulate them, as if they were just a playground for my mind. But dreams have their own rules, their own reality. And I broke the line between them and the waking world. What other horrors are waiting for those who try to control their subconscious? Because now I wonder, how many of us truly know where reality ends and the dream begins? Stay tuned, because this isn't the last story where the line between worlds becomes blurred. There are other nightmares, other places where our mind's darkest corners take shape, and where we might never wake up.